Am I touching it?
This area right here begins to develop. And it surrounds the comet. And if I had enough garland, I'd surround GB with it. But I don't. So what we're going to do instead is pretend that there's this huge cloud of stuff around him. And you can't even see poor GB anymore. Because this cloud is so big. This cloud can be 100,000 miles wide. That's how big it is. Now GB is only about 3 miles wide. So all this dust and gas is being blown off in great amounts. There we go. Okay, so let's pretend that there's this tail around it. Now as we move GB in towards the sun, the tail gets longer and longer. Now GB moves quick now because he's in towards the sun. He's moving real quick. Around the sun. Goes around the sun, goes back out again, passing all the planets. Zoom. Great. Okay, goes around, keeps going. Now the tail, what happens to the tail?
It's shorter.
It goes backwards.
It gets shorter. Now what was wrong with us? What was wrong with this picture when we went around the sun?
We bumped into the sun.
We bumped into the sun for one. Okay. And if that had happened, poor GB would have been gone. Because if he gets too close to the sun, GB evaporates. And it's all over. And there are some comets that do that. They're called sun grazers. Now, there was a problem with it. And I think it was because we was moving too fast. But what happens is, as you come in towards the sun, the tail always points away from the sun. It always points away. And we were sort of streaming the tail around because GB was moving so quick it was hard to keep up with him. How fast does GB move? Well, imagine it's moving at about 100,000 miles an hour. Now, poor GB would go nuts if he had to run at 100,000 miles an hour. He'd poop out. But just imagine that's how fast we went. And normally, the tail always points away from the sun. Can we actually point the tail away from the sun this time? Well, let's don't put it in his face. Here we go, GB. Point, face towards the sun, and here's the tail. Okay, pointing away from the sun. Always, no matter what, the tail always points away from the sun. Sometimes, however, if the comet is moving fast enough, and if you're at a certain angle looking at the comet, you'll see an anti-tail, okay, which is a little tail streaming this way. Okay. And it looks like the comet is moving so fast that it's creating a little tail. But that's not true. It's just that this dust and gas, there you go, little tail. Dust and gas is just being blown off so quickly that it's coming all over the place and shot out entire jets. Now, so GB has gone all the way around the solar system very quickly, especially the inner solar system. But now, GB starts to slow down again. And the tail starts to shrink up. It's okay, GB, you can go straight here. Okay. The tail starts to shrink up again. And little pieces of the tail are left behind. Okay? Who's getting ready? Little pieces of the tail are left behind. And then GB goes back into space.
It's fine.
And is not seen
476.
for quite a long time. Okay, GB's pretty pooped right now. Why don't we give GB a great big hand for showing up?
She can't get up.
Poor guy.